It's always so weird to me when conservative men go after liberal women. It's like a patriarchal, misogynistic problem.
Yes, totally agree with this creator. I think that is a large part of it, but I've also spoken with conservative men about this frustration before, and there's a large part of it that's far more embarrassing than you think. Before we dive in, as always, make sure you like, comment, repost, and follow along for more. But the reason conservative men pursue liberal women and avoid conservative women more often, and often to the point that they'll sometimes lie about it, is actually embarrassing. A long time ago, I had one friend who called himself a moderate. Obviously, we're not friends anymore because I think you can guess what all his friends were. So sometimes when I would like hang out at their house and whatnot, his roommates, his friends, whatever, would just be around, and we would have to be amicable and we'd hang out. And one thing we used to do is we would project our dating apps up onto the TV and scroll through each other's just as a form of entertainment and talk about it. And we had some really interesting discussions. And I'll be honest, I learned a lot by doing this because one day I complained to them. I was like, it seems like every man on this app is on the right. Okay, what is going on and why do you always try and pursue us so hard, to the point where sometimes you even lie about it? And these guys were usually pretty honest, but the first thing they said was, well, we have the same complaint. All the girls on our apps are on the left, so it's just kind of what we have to choose. And the very few that are on the right are slim pickings, and they're not very attractive. They admitted they're not very attracted to their own kind. And the second and more embarrassing thing they admitted is that dating women on the right is very difficult. It is far easier to date a woman on the left because they're way more relaxed and they expect much less of us. Which I wouldn't necessarily agree with, but I think once again, as always, they were focused just on the financial aspects and not like the emotional labor that women on the left would actually expect you to deliver if you dated properly. Now, obviously, I was like, oh, that's fascinating. They openly admit that they cannot reach the standards that they have set for themselves. They are walking hypocrites. They want to believe that men should be the head of the household, that men should do this, should provide, etc., etc. But then when the time finally comes to it, they cannot meet that, and they found that trying to is too exhausting. So they just want to go to church every Sunday, pretend that's the way it is, and then come home and never have to actually fulfill their end of the bargain, whilst not changing their expectations or standards for the women they're dating on the left, right? They were still looking for like someone who wants to be a housewife, a stay-at-home mom, etc. But at the same time, knowing that they could not provide that lifestyle, so it literally just didn't make any sense. That being said, I still do agree with this previous creator that there is a large subsect that just want to like tame something they've deemed as wild and break a woman, because that is like peak patriarchal misogynistic tendencies.